ProQuest Central is a very useful comprehensive database, meaning it searches for articles in many different fields and draws from many smaller sub-databases. This video will only cover basic searching and will not go into detail of all of the functions available. It can be found using the Databases tab on the library's home page and entering the name of the database in the search bar or by browsing to it through the alphabetical listing. The home page of the database, as we can see, is quite simple. Let's say that we were interested in finding sources on Asian immigrants. We would simply enter the search terms into the search bar, hit search, and we come to this results screen. Now there are nearly 27,000 hits. Now there are several tools that can help us narrow this number considerably. We could narrow to just peer-reviewed sources. Now this reduces the sources down to about 4,000. We can also filter by full text only, which will reduce the number of hits as well, down to about 2,200. However, let me put this caution out there. In many databases that have a mix of full text and non-full text entries, hitting the full text option will reduce the number of hits by 40 to 60% or even more sometimes. In this case, the number of hits has been reduced by 40%. If you're doing your research last minute, this may be necessary. But if you've started your research early and given yourself time, there's no reason to cut out all of these possible sources, many of which may be very good. In a moment, we'll see how to get articles from another library. Down the left-hand side of the page are several other filters that we can use to cut down the number of hits to a more manageable level. Next to the number of results is the Search Within option. This allows us to perform a second search within the results. Let's say we wanted to limit our search to sources that talked just about the Hmong, a particular ethnic group in Vietnam, Cambodia, and other Southwest Asian countries. We would simply click the link, which takes us to a smaller search bar at the bottom of the page. We would enter Hmong into the search bar and hit search. This reduces the number of hits to 45, which is much easier to deal with than 27,000. There are other tools that we could use. We could narrow to only peer-reviewed sources, again with this link down here. We could also filter for specific types of documents, newspapers, scholarly journals, etc. In this case, we have scholarly journals and magazine articles. We can filter by date, which is actually an important filter because some disciplines consider information of a certain age to be less valuable. Below that is the subject filter. All databases work with a restricted set of language because they could not describe each item with all possible language. These are referred to as subject headings. For us, they can be helpful ways to narrow our topics. When we click the subject option, we see the top subject headings within our search. If we click more options, we get a list of all the subjects in our search. We can click these boxes to either include or exclude specific terms. And this ability can be valuable because it can help us focus our search very tightly. Let's say we wanted to focus our search just on women. We could click female, then hit apply, and it's reduced down to 16 hits. A very, very manageable number of hits to work with. At the bottom of the left-hand pane is a widget that will allow you to contact a librarian at any time. It won't always be a St. Martin's librarian, but most librarians have been trained and can help you with your research, can help you find articles or understand whether it's peer-reviewed or whatever. Now let's look at some entries in the main part of the screen. The entry gives us the title and the publication information, as well as examples from passages that contain the terms we're looking for. If we have full text availability, we will see this link below the article details. Many times it will be PDF, sometimes it will be full text, and it'll just be a plain text file. When we click a title, we come to a results screen like this. Now if we have it available as a PDF, you'll see this download PDF button here. We also can get citation information in a number of different styles. We can email a link of the article to someone, ourselves or somebody else, or we could print the article. If we do not have full text, we will find this link, Find SMU Full Text. Clicking that link will execute another search in Saint Search to see if we might have access to this article through another database. Find SMU Full Text will take us to the login screen, and then to an item record like this. Now this particular article we have access to through a different database. Through this database, we could click here and go get the article. But let's go back to the results list in ProQuest Central really quickly. For articles that we don't have full text access to, when we click the title, we come to a results screen like this. Now from here we can also conduct a Find SMU Full Text search, or we can click here to go to Iliad, the library's tool for interlibrary loan, which means that we can get the article from a different library, oftentimes within just a couple of working days.